Have you been fishing recently?
Yeah, one on the weekend.
Yeah.
Went out Friday night down the Gold Coast, just chasing some mangrove jack.
Nice.
Unfortunately, they gave us a good tallying up.
Okay.
Didn't land a thing, mainly because mangrove jack, they're just a very powerful fish.
Yeah, right.
Yep, hook them straight into rocks. A mate of mine that was with me did get a nice finger mark.
What do you mean?
Finger mark, so it's just a type of fish.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
it's finger mark brim.
Right.
They're not meant to be in actually Brisbane and Gold Coast. They're meant to start sort of around Gold Coast. Around Gladstone.
Oh,
Rocky sort of area.
further north.
Yeah, so it was literally a rare catch down here.
Is that because? Do you think it's because of? Is there climate reasons why that might be? Like, I don't want to suddenly go into like
No.
we're now talking about climate change, but I just mean like, is it something to do with that? Is it a weather related thing,
Oh, look,
or is it just something that
the
occasionally
northern
happens?
species are slowly pushing down due to temperature rises
Sorry, just move that mic slightly. There we go. Yep.
Yeah, temperature rises in the ocean.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's say the Lejanid family being the mangrove jack, finger mark brim, they do go out to the reefs to spawn.
Right.
So who knows what sort of currents would pick up those eggs, travel down
Oh.
the coast, and yeah.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good point. I guess it's not like a land creature laying its egg
Mm.
in a nest where it should
Be there.
for all intents and purposes it should remain there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's within currents. Yeah, it's a very good point. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, myself and one of my sponsors, we went out to the jumping pin, just chasing some flathead and got a good feed.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Yeah, cool. So how often do you normally get to go out, like on a typical month or a typical week or whatever it might be?
Oh, look, used to be 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm more focused on work.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm, aiming for a few goals and renovations, holidays, things like that. So I'm trying to do as much overtime as possible.
Yeah.
It sucks because it does, even though I've got lots of footage at home,
Yeah.
it cuts into the editing time.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
just to do like even a half hour
Yeah.
of, let's say a GoPro or a camera.
Yeah.
Start, stop. You may not have anything.
Yeah.
It may be 6 hours of footage you have to piece through, and you go 8 to 12 hours sometimes.
Absolutely. I can definitely appreciate that. These podcasts and they don't have the action that you've got to sort of find the best bits.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the editing side of it, it's a long process.
And
And then getting it like compressed down so that YouTube will actually accept it and all that the whole thing.
and you get like the catch of a lifetime, or something awesome will happen, and right at that very spot, the audio will fail.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's like, then you just can't use it because you try and dub
Yeah.
it, and it's just not the same.
Yeah. That would
So,
suck.
look, I've got lots of footage there. Just need the time to,
Yeah.
get back and edit, and then, get into the rhythm of uploading onto YouTube, because
Sure.
you're not regular, the algorithm stuffs you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things with the algorithm with YouTube. That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And what's it called? Like shadow blocking or something? Or I can't think of the name. Ghost blocking or shadow blocking. It's something like that, where the algorithm works against you because of like bots or whatever have unliked your videos.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
And so then, but YouTube doesn't know if it's genuine that people don't like it,
Yep.
or if for some reason there's bots doing it. So then it's getting shown, and therefore all of your content it's getting shown less and less and less to people. But what can you do about it? Because unfortunately, that you can't call YouTube. Hey guys,
Yeah.
can you look into this for me?
That's exactly right. Like, if you look at my subscribers, like I got 30-something thousand, just over 30,000 subscribers. But if I post a video, let's take a week, it may only get like 1,000 views, and you're like,
Yeah,
what's going on? Like,
yeah. Out of
why-
30,000 subscribers.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, really, they should all get way more views than subscribers. Do you know what I mean? Because most people don't subscribe. They watch, but they don't subscribe.
Exactly right.
So yeah, it's weird. But then, and if you're not posting regularly enough and what have you, then you just start to drop in the. Yeah, it's a
Yep.
whole thing. But it's, I mean, it's fun to do, but it can be, I guess, a labour of love.
Oh, definitely.
It's nothing more than that, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've done it for good money, like paying
Yeah.
to go out, fish, make segments for different stations, whether it be TV stations or whatnot. And in the end of it, if you don't successfully film a segment,
Yeah.
you kick yourself because you know you're going to miss out on that money.
Yeah.
And I ended up giving it away because it was becoming too much about the money and not so much about the fishing anymore.
Yeah. Right.
Teaching.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So what's your like sort of story or entry into the YouTube thing? I would imagine that fishing came first, and then you thought I might film this and put it on this thing called YouTube.
Yep.
That, I would imagine. But what's your how did all of that? How did Team Mad Mullet come to be the YouTube sensation that it is?
Well, I'll start from the beginning. So I grew up in Rockhampton, fishing in the Fitzroy River for barramundi. So that's where my passion for fishing started. And as I grew up, of course, I expanded. Moved to Brisbane, mid-teens, to an area called Tanamera in Loganholme.
Right.
And after school, I'd just quickly duck down to the river, the Logan River, and I'd just go fishing.
Yeah.
And I'd just be catching like bream and catfish and things. And a girl by the name of Steph came down, never met her before, and we got chatting. And she's like, you know, there's sharks in here, right? I'm like, no, there's not. Look at the colour of the water. It's brown. Like, there can't be sharks living in that sort of water.
Right.
And she's like, no, I'll prove it to you. So off she went. She got a rod, came back. And it was about half an hour, 45 minutes later, her first shark hit the deck. It was only small. It was only like 700 long. So it was only tiny. But I was like, get stuffed.
Was it a bull shark?
Little bull shark, yeah. And right from that, I got into shark fishing.
Right. So you were still at high school?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I started fishing and I joined an online community called BFO, and that was Brisbane Fishing Online back in the day.
Right.
And I used to post all my stories up there, how I did it. Like I used to sit there for hours and type out, you know, a couple of A4 pages, then post it with pictures and things like that.
Yeah.
And one of the guys is like, why don't you start doing this in YouTube form, you know, explaining how you do it.
Yeah.
And so I bought myself a first camera and went down the Logan River and filmed my first episode, how to catch Logan River bull sharks. And to this date, it's got hundreds of thousands of views on it.
Wow.
It was one of the first ones ever.
Wow.
Yeah, that's basically how it started.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so that it started your interest and love of shark fishing,
Yep.
but at the same time it started the YouTube journey as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool.
So from there, I just, not only did I focus on shark fishing, but branched out into a lot of other species.
Yeah.
I just love thinking that, you know, my information can lead to so much more experiences catching their personal bests.
Yeah.
And I've even got lots of good comments over the years that, you know, I've pulled people out of dark ruts because the way I explain things is very easy. So they've gone, oh, this is pretty cool.
Right.
And, you know, I always try and involve a family as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Family orientated.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. And do you find that, because with shark fishing, there's the darker side of it, which is the, you know, people going after the shark fins, right? But you do more, or at least my understanding is you do more research-based shark fishing, right? So it's more like about tagging and seeing, I guess, checking their sizes and their health and their migration and things like that.
Right.
But if you just say to people shark fishing, do they jump to the to the nasty side of
Oh,
it.
100%.
Yeah.
Shark fishing, even to date, is very taboo.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I meant. Yeah.
Especially if you're, let's say, Scarborough area, Redcliffe.
Right.
You're just on the foreshore there fishing,
Yeah.
and they realise what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the instant they realise what you're doing, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're attracting sharks to this area.
Oh, I
Yep.
see. So okay.
They think because we have literally just, it's only could be a whole mullet, which the
Right.
crabbers use for crab bait,
Yeah.
etc. But we're responsible for bringing the sharks into the area. Yeah, it. Look, I've had lots of discussions, arguments, heated arguments,
Yeah, I bet.
over the many years.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet it would be tiresome
Oh, yeah, it
sometimes.
is, definitely.
Yeah.
And the road to what you were saying in regards to tagging and things, actually stemmed from my videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So a gentleman by the name of Stephen, he approached me and said, "Hey Kurt, I'm wanting to try and shoot a documentary for Nat Geo,
Oh wow.
Discovery, etc. The
Wow.
life on bull sharks." Daryl McPhee from Bond University has come aboard as the scientist, and we're looking for the the muscle in it, so the shark fisherman.
Right.
So we sat down, had a bit of conversation. Daryl actually got 500 tags made up, especially for me. It was actually TMM, so Team Mad Mullet,
Yeah. Yep.
numbered 1 to 500. And our goal was to tag 500 sharks and try and recapture them over a couple of years, but film over those years and try and get the data of recaptures and things like that.
Right.
So the first 250 tags I put out, basically I did a little story on it, and Johan Gustafsson from Griffith University down the Gold Coast seen it, and he's like, he contacted me, and I was like, Kurt, I've seen what you did, I've seen your passion. What I can offer you is all the permits that you need to be able to target any size sharks.
Wow. That's
Uh,
cool.
On paid trips, I'll pay you for your time, which I
Nice.
have been paid quite a few times,
Yeah.
doing what I love, which is
Yeah.
always awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And look, it's taken me, all up and down the Queensland coast,
Yeah.
shark fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been unreal. And capturing the size sharks
Yeah.
is very special.
Sure.
Yep.
Before you mentioned about how you were, I think last weekend or recently anyway, you were down on the Goldie sort of area chasing flatties.
Yep.
And then you got, was it a finger something?
Finger mark brim.
Finger mark brim?
Yep.
So is that more just pleasure fishing?
Look, the camera's always rolling,
Right,
but whether I end up using that footage or not
right.
is a different story. Like, there's quite a few times which I will actually just not take any cameras
Yeah.
and just do it with my mates or
Yeah.
my dad or my wife and my daughter
Yeah.
for fun.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah. And sometimes catching for food or pretty much always catch and release or?
We're a very big seafood eater
Yeah.
in this house, so
You've got to eat.
yeah. Look, I have no qualms in
Oh,
taking
100%.
any seafood. I'm very much a hunter gatherer,
Yeah.
whether it be fishing, hunting, etc. I'm butcher
Yeah.
by trade.
Oh,
So-
really?
So I've learnt over the
Oh,
years
wow.
how to, whether it be meat or fish or whatever.
Yeah.
Learned how to
What to do with
handle
it?
the meat correctly, so
Yeah.
it's always best on the table.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think that if I don't do a lot of fishing, certainly not compared to yourself, but my view is catch what you need to sustain yourself, your family, etc. After that, throw back,
definitely.
catch for sport. But there's sort of to me it seems pointless to go fishing, throw it back, and then go to Coles and buy some snapper anyway. So, well, you just had fish in your fucking hand. Just keep some of it.
Yeah.
But it's the, I guess, the overfishing or the overhunting that's where I think everyone should have a problem with that. You know,
Oh,
don't,
definitely.
don't kill something and then leave it dead
No.
just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
So one of my very good friends and also a member of Team Mad Mullet, Jamie,
Mm.
he loves fishing,
Mm.
but he just does not eat fish.
Mm.
He just literally goes out there for the fun.
Mm.
His partner definitely does eat fish. He'll
Right.
keep the odd one for him. Otherwise, it's just catch and release.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's it.
yeah. Look, I'm a firm believer in catch and release and sustainability, but you know, if my freezer's empty, I'm definitely going to fill it.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. You got it.
Mm.
You got to eat. You mentioned that you hunt as well.
Yep.
I guess we're now talking land hunting.
Definitely.
What's your favorite beast, or to go hunting for? Is it pig or I don't know what else.
If it's for the
Emu?
table, definitely venison, deer.
Okay, yeah.
We shoot a lot of that.
Yeah.
We've always got lots and lots of venison in the freezer.
Nice. Oh,
Like even last night, we
Yeah.
had venison stroganoff.
stop it.
Just absolutely
Oh.
unreal.
Damn it! I would have asked you to bring something.
Hey, look, we've always got plenty in the freezer, so yeah, that can be arranged.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh God, that sounds good.
Wow factor, like get the adrenaline rushing. It's got to be pigs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wild boar.
Yep.
Fuck, they go crazy. Those wild
Oh, yeah.
boar.
I've had a lot of very close calls. So one property we actually manage in particular is a feedlot. So they do Wagyu beef. It all gets exported over to Japan.
Right.
And because these cattle are fed on barley and grain chaff every night, the pigs have got used to this. They come in literally by the hundreds, gorge themselves on the grain, which also takes money away from the farmer, but
Yeah.
carry diseases and just make a big mess of everything.
Sure.
So we actually go in there, cull them. The
Yeah.
females we harvest for the table.
Yeah.
But at night time, when you start shooting, of course, pigs start running everywhere,
Yeah.
and they don't know where they're running. In quite a few instances, like you get the big boars, they notice you eventually, and they're like, "Right, I'm coming for you."
Yeah.
And
yeah.
GoPro on top of my head all the time, and I've got some pretty
Some
wild
pretty
footage.
gnarly footage.
Yep.
I bet that'd be crazy because they weigh a lot. You know,
Yeah.
those the wild boars. And if they're angry and they're kind of at a point of I got nothing to lose, that type of mentality, they're just charging at you. They'd break bones if they slammed into
definitely.
you hard enough, wouldn't they?
I mean, the average pig down there has been 1680 kilos,
Mm.
and when you're thinking of
But it's just
a
a
keg
solid
on-
chunk.
yeah, like they hit you besides their tusks.
Yeah.
If they hit you in the knee, it'd invert your knee instantly.
Ugh.
Like, yeah.
Oh,
But no,
yeah.
if I had to choose, it'd probably be venison.
Yeah.
Yeah, deer through and through.
Yeah, for both for, like you say, both for like table and for the hunt as well. Yeah, right.
Yeah. They're an animal that's very, very, very switched on.
Yeah,
Great eyesight, great hearing.
yeah. You got to be
great
super
sense of smell.
quiet.
Yep.
Whereabouts is without giving away your spots? Whereabouts is like good deer hunting within the southeast Queensland sort of area?
Look, they're all through the range. I mean, even
Okay.
10 minutes down the road,
Oh.
Pullen Vale.
Oh, really?
Yep, all through the hills there are deer.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
Most places, like most property owners in this area, haven't got enough land
Yeah.
to legally harvest them
Oh, I
with
see.
a rifle.
I see.
Yep. And a lot of people see deer and they're like, "Oh, isn't that cute?"
Yeah. They think of
Bambi.
Bambi. I was just
Yeah.
reindeer.
But once again, they are an introduced species.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be here.
Yeah.
And yes, they do look beautiful standing out there, and
Yeah. Of course.
a winter's morning with the fog rising,
Yeah.
etc. But
All animals do.
oh yeah,
All animals do. That's the beauty of them, though. It's wonderful that they exist, and it's also wonderful how they taste.
yeah, exactly right.
Gonna get a lot of hate for that one, but too bad. Yeah, it is.
Hey,
what
it's
it
not
is.
like I'm just killing and leaving.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
No, I'm doing it for the reason.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. So is there a reason why YouTube wise why it's been a fishing focus rather than hunting venison focus? Or is that just kind of how it's like was that intentional?
the hardest thing with hunting is getting that frame, getting that shot, getting that perfect bit of video.
Right. Right.
Unless you got someone standing behind you with a really good camera so they can zoom in and out, and you got a mic,
Yeah.
on you, you got a GoPro rolling.
Mm.
And if a shot's 50 meters plus,
Mm.
you will see the gun go off,
Yeah.
but you won't see what happens out there.
Yeah.
So you miss all the action.
Yeah. Right.
Plus two, unfortunately, you get a lot of haters on YouTube, and as soon as they see a dead animal,
Yeah.
they report it, and then you get demonetized,
Oh.
or your video gets taken down.
So that is it being demonetized, or are they reporting it under like cruelty or something?
Yep.
Oh,
So every
really?
one of my hunting videos are demonetized. Yep.
Really?
Even though one of them's got, it's wild boar catch and cook, and I show the taking of the animal, the butchering of the animal, and the
And the
cooking of the animal.
Right.
But obviously people don't like it. They report it, and boom.
Isn't that crazy though? Because I bet they don't report the video of the chef who just takes a pork belly that he got from a butcher and starts cooking that.
Well,
they don't report those ones.
Funnily enough, Gordon Ramsay actually
Yeah.
did a video very similar where it was overseas somewhere, where he actually went out, harvested his own pig, and did all the steps. So
Right.
it'd be interesting to see whether he actually got demonetized.
Yeah,
or not.
exactly. That's
And he's
right.
got millions of views.
Oh
on that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It also wouldn't bother him if he did get
No,
demonetized.
exactly right.
But I know what you mean. It'd be interesting just to know, like, is there a double standard
Yeah.
from one person to another?
Yeah, look, fishing's starting to be in the spotlight too with
Yeah.
those sorts of people because
I wonder if it's that they don't view fish the same way as they view land animals. Do you know what I mean? Like, is there some reason why they're okay with that? I'm not saying that they shouldn't be. I'm just wondering, like, where is their mentality behind that? Why is it that they're okay with one but not with the other?
yeah.
I don't want them to suddenly not be okay with the fishing
No,
one.
exactly right. Look, I've been demonetized on some of my videos because, they see, like, for instance, that very first shark video I was telling you about. To eat shark, you need to bleed them.
Yeah.
Problem is, if you bleed them like a normal fish, where you cut the throat,
Yeah.
they die too quickly. Now, sharks can't process the urea like we can. So the urine goes back into the blood system, and that's when you get that real ammonia smell.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
unfortunately, you have to dock the tail. I understand it's not humane, but if you're wanting to take an animal to eat and enjoy it and not have to throw it out because it tastes like you're eating ammonia, then you have to do it properly. So
Yeah.
it's docking the tail. Unfortunately, the heart's still pumping the whole time. It pumps all the blood out. As soon as your animal's dead, you put it on ice.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, people don't like that side of
No.
it, but that's, as you say, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Because the other way, it still dies, but it just goes in the bin. So,
So
what's the point in that?
unfortunately, videos over the years have had to change and adapt to actually those minute few that actually don't like to see reality.
Yeah, sure. Do you have an opinion, or do you even want to share an opinion on the shark nets that we have, like around, like they're on the
They're
Goldie and
pointless.
Yeah, that was what I was wondering
Pointless.
about.
Like,
Interested to hear from a shark specialist.
It's more for tourism, right?
Right.
So if you put shark nets in front of a popular swimmer beach,
Yeah.
most people think they're safe, and look, they are. They're 100% safe. You got more chance of crossing a dead end road and getting hit by a car than ever getting bitten by a shark or even approached by a shark. Those nets don't go all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
They can swim around them. They can swim under them.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, most of the time it gets the non-target species like your whales, your dolphins, your turtles.
Yeah.
It's purely there for tourism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and because I think this is the issue that most people have with them, is the fact that kills things like turtles
Yep.
and stingray and things that it's not meant
Yeah.
to. But that's kind of how it is, though, right? Like you can't teach the turtle
No.
don't go to that.
No.
So personally, I'm of the opinion myself that if you're in the ocean, you're in
It's their
that domain.
environment.
You're in their environment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think a different story if you're sitting on your couch and a shark walks in and tries to bite you. I think that's different.
Yep.
But if you go into the shark's lounge room and then start demanding that it doesn't get the chance to bite you, I don't agree with that.
Yep. Look, they're not out to target us and eat us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just think, let's take one day of the year, let's take Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Just up and down the East Coast, let's say from Sydney to Brisbane, the amount of millions of people that are in the water on Boxing Day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sharks over the years would get to know this. Every day, surfers, swimmers enter the water at a certain time. If they wanted to eat us, they'd be sitting there waiting for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mistaking identity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that whole, like, they think we're seals or whatever, like surfers, is that?
Yeah, seals, turtles, any sort of prey item, basically.
Yeah.
They don't see like we see, that's for sure. Like,
Mm.
you know, so most of the time it is a mistaken identity. Like, unfortunately, the girl over in WA 2 weeks ago jumped off her jet ski to go swimming with the dolphins, and unfortunately, you know, ended up getting bitten, not eaten, just bitten. Unfortunately, lost too much blood and passed away.
So what I haven't heard about this. So were they not dolphins? She thought they were
No,
dolphins?
there was definitely dolphins there. And
So
she-
dolphin, because I always thought dolphins and sharks won't.
Nah, that's a myth.
Is that a myth?
That's
Is
a
that
myth.
another one for the tourists?
Yeah, it's a
Oh, for
myth.
God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, look, you just think dolphins eat fish,
Yeah.
sharks eat fish. They eat this just because.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, yes, a shark will eat a dolphin,
Yeah.
but 99% of the time, unless that dolphin is sick or injured, that shark isn't going to catch that dolphin.
Yeah.
No way. They eat the same thing. Like, main staple of sharks and dolphins is mullet, tail, things like that.
Okay.
And if you've got a big school of mullet, which I don't know the true story of actually what went on, but let's say those dolphins were feeding on mullet at the time.
Yeah. Sharks are going to be
There's going to
interested
be
as
other
well.
prey items there.
Sure.
Prey animals, I should say.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I guess the shark's not going to be interested in the dolphin because there's mullet there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And look, that shark that bit that poor young girl, look, who knows what it could have been mistaken, but I mean, if it wanted to go out and physically eat her, it just wouldn't have gone chomp.
Yeah.
It would have gone chomp, swallow, or come back for some more.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And at the end of the day, she was in the ocean, and that's
Yeah.
the risk of being in the
Yep.
ocean. Like, you go skiing and then complain about avalanches.
Look,
Don't go skiing.
I used to do a lot of spearfishing, diving, tubing, wakeboarding, all that sort of thing, surfing, bodyboarding. I personally choose not to do that anymore. If you're not comfortable doing something, then take yourself out of that situation.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said before, I know I've got more chance of getting killed on any road, but I just don't feel comfortable.
Is that shark related that you don't feel comfortable, or?
A little bit shark related. Salt water, when you come out of it, also you always feel,
Yeah.
yuck.
Right.
But I mean, over the years, I have caught sharks in areas where I used to do a lot of spearfishing and diving and
Okay.
things, and I'm like, yeah, the reality sets in, sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
you're like,
They
oh,
are there.
I was just swimming here yesterday, and I've
Yeah.
just caught a 3 meter shark here. It's like, wow.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
It was probably there at the time,
Yeah.
but just out in the distance, just
Yeah.
chilling out. It knew I was there. Like, we don't, like, they can know we're there from a kilometre away.
Mm.
Yeah.
So they know that we're there a lot sooner than we know that
Yep.
they're there. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 Their sensory organs, whether it be the Lorenzini pores on their nose, the lateral line, etc. Like, yeah, it's insane how they can detect
Right.
any sort of slight movement, blood in the water, urine, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting though. That like as someone who you know so much about them, about their behaviours, and about their even just like you're saying, that their eating patterns, what they like to eat. But even then, you're still saying like, yeah, I probably wouldn't go in the ocean. And
Yeah.
is that just in general?
That's
Like if you're at the beach for
Look,
the weekend and you guys are going for a swim down on
Yeah,
surfers,
we'll still
or
go.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So another member of Team Mad Mullet, Brad Payne, he's a surfer,
Mm.
and he always thought I had the fear of the water, that I would not go in it because of the sharks.
Mm.
We went to Double Island Point,
Mm.
and he's like, come out for a surf?
Mm.
And I'm like, sure, why not? And he's like, wow, really? Aren't you scared? I'm like, no, it's just like I
You're
explained.
aware.
Yeah, I'm aware, and if you're not comfortable, just don't do it.
yeah,
But I know that that's particular time there was lots of people in the water. The likelihood of something happening is slim.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. And because bull sharks and great whites, of course, have particularly bad names. So great whites internationally have a bad name. The movie Jaws from years ago probably doesn't help towards that. Bull sharks within Australia, in particular, have a really bad name. Are their bad names warranted compared to other sharks?
Uh, I don't really think so. I mean, you go back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The grey nurse was
Yeah.
reportedly, supposedly, the one doing all the attacks.
The nurse shark, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at photos, them cruising around, they've got really jagged,
Right.
raspy teeth sort
So
of thing.
they've got the look.
Yeah, they got the look.
Yeah.
And a diver by the name of Ben Crop actually designed a power head, which is basically a stick with a bullet on the end of it encased. So they used to swim up to these sharks and power head them to kill them because they thought they're scary looking. They've got to be the ones
yeah.
responsible.
Yeah.
But look, I think white sharks, they shouldn't be allowed. I know this is a touchy subject, but I don't think they should be allowed to do shark cage dives, things like that, because they chum the water up.
Yeah.
They have to chum the water up to attract that
And,
shark.
chumming is putting like
Fish.
dead fish and
Yeah.
stuff like that in there, right? Basically to
Pushing it up,
to get them
the smell,
excited and
Yep.
yeah,
attract them to that area.
yeah,
Cage goes in the water,
yeah,
person goes in the water,
Yeah.
shark comes to you.
yeah.
Like there's been a few, very close.
Oh yeah,
instances
I mean
where
those
a
sharks
shark has
smash
smashed
it.
through the cages.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me enough to go in a cage. You could offer me a briefcase with $1 million
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
on the bottom of that thing
Yeah,
with, but let's say X amount of great whites swimming around it. You ain't getting me in that water.
is that
No
right?
way.
Have you ever caught a great white?
I personally have it, but another member of Team Mad Mullet, Robbie Gibson,
Yeah,
we got a 9'5". Like when we're talking it's a team effort at the end of the day.
sure.
If the team wasn't there, it wouldn't have been accomplished.
Right.
It was a 9'5", 9'4" somewhere. So when you're talking shark sizes, it's small,
Mm,
but it's still just under that 3 meter mark.
exactly.
It was a beautiful shark. Like
Was it where was it?
that was up on Fraser Island.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, stunning shark. Got this beautiful look at, big black eye.
Mm.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. That would have been yes, because there's something about the great white, isn't it?
Oh, of course.
There's something about that. That's the
I think
That's
the
the shark.
stigma around big
yeah,
jaws.
yeah,
Yep. That's
Absolutely.
where it all stems from, I reckon.
yeah. But
Like-
then bull sharks, they're ugly looking fuckers.
Yeah.
They're like they're sort of double nose, whatever's going
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah, so the top jaw extends out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But they have I think a worse name here than great whites, but maybe that's because here we get them in the river and like within Brisbane or southeast Queensland there's a much higher likelihood of you stumbling across a bull shark than a great white.
Right
you know.
down to, past Sydney.
Yeah,
They're quite common.
yeah.
Yep.
So are they not much further south than that?
Nah, they're more of a... I forget the proper terminology. I think it's called temperate water. So not cold but not hot. It's
Yeah.
that midsection.
Temperate sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can withstand cool water.
Yeah.
But I mean that in saying that, that's why we got into the tagging side of things. So we can learn more about why they actually go to places,
Yeah.
how long for,
Yeah.
when at what stage do they leave the rivers to go to the estuaries, to go to the bays, then become a pelagic shark. So pelagic means ocean going.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
So are they typically nomadic, or like crocodiles, for example, very much have their territory, particularly male crocodiles, but all crocs, I believe, or at least all salties have their territory. This is their domain along that particular waterway. Do sharks have that at all, or do they follow the food and they'll go wherever they go?
So we haven't got any definite information back out of all the tagging we've done yet. So over the past couple of years, we've been acoustic tagging pregnant female sharks that come into our waterways between mid-October to mid-December. Logan River, the mouth, Brisbane River, Caboolture River, all those sorts of mouths of rivers.
Yeah.
They come in there purely just to drop their pups,
Right.
and then disappear. So we go in and we target those big females.
Right.
On rod and reel, we catch them. Johann's got all the ethical permits and everything right, so you can do minor surgery, little incision.
Wow.
Little incision in the belly.
Is that to put the tag in?
Yep.
Oh,
the acoustic tag goes inside the belly, gets sewn up,
Oh, shit.
and then we release it. So there's quite a few receivers throughout Brisbane River, Moreton Bay, etc.
Right.
So if that shark swims within, basically pinging range.
Right.
So
it's like its own little cell phone tower type of thing.
So it goes past, it's got clear line. It can be 200 metres away, but at least that got a clear line, it'll ping.
Okay.
So the shark of recent, we haven't got any data back. So that gives us one indication that they've just left this area, and who knows where they've gone. We haven't seen them back for 2 years.
Okay, so these aren't GPS sort of trackers where you can
No.
look. Yeah. Okay.
No, not on the bull shark, but we do that with hammerhead sharks.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Why is it different?
Depends on the funding we get at the time, or the job that we've been assigned to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a reason that you know of why they wanted to invest more into hammerheads and that tracking rather than bull shark?
I think it's just.
Or you don't ask questions; you just collect the check and do your job.
I think that's what the uni does at the time. So I actually bounce between 3 universities now: Bond University, Griffith University, and Sunshine Coast University.
Okay. Yep.
So Johann was working on bull sharks, but then now he's in collaboration with Sunshine Coast University in the hammerhead program.
Right.
So he's taken more of an interest in that, so he's brought me over to that as well.
Right.
So over the past couple of years, we've been going to and from Fraser Island, and they're GPS tagged. So a GPS tag gets attached to the dorsal fin, and it collects all data from temperature of water, speed, depth, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And as soon as that hammerhead breaks the surface, it relays all the data to the satellite. And
wow.
Yep. So it's
right.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. So the hammerhead comes up for whatever reason, and then all of that gets sent off to a satellite or whatever.
We also
no shit, that's cool.
Put fin cams on them as well, so we
fin cams.
Yep. So we know what they get up to. Yep.
For real.
Yep.
How is that staying charged?
It's basically got an anode on it. So let's say we want to know what that hammer gets up to for 48 hours.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, record times vary depending on the unit.
Yeah.
Most of them are 12 to 24 hours sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you attach it like we do tags and whatnot, we'll never get the data back out of it. So it's basically clamped onto the shark's fin, and it's got these anodes that slowly dissolve in the salt water. So after a period of time, that just releases,
Oh,
floats to the surface. GPS it goes off. We go out. Who knows
no.
wherever it turns up. Collect it, download the footage, and away you go.
No.
I personally haven't got any of that footage.
That's crazy. So it's got like a little what do they
Beacon
call it? Like a beaker.
certainly has.
And
Yep.
people just go out there and pick up the little GoPro or
Yep.
the little Shark Pro.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So all this footage we've been collecting over the years is hopefully going towards a series on one of the big, Shark Week.
Like a David Attenborough type of thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. That's so much more involved than I imagined. Like even just creating that type of technology, that of some whoever created the technology of that camera that's going to just sit there for X amount of time and then eventually dissolve away and it's going to float and then people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money,
Oh.
research and development, and then ongoing money as well in all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And yet there are still, unfortunately, people out there who, as you were talking about before, think that you're the devil because
Yeah. Oh, look, there's
you know.
definitely people that do the wrong thing.
100% there are. Yeah, there's
always
there's an
those
entire
people.
nation of them
Yep.
that kill shark just purely for their fins. I won't
Yep.
name the nation, but I'm sure that
look,
everyone knows the nation I'm talking about.
Yeah, look, they're not the only ones responsible.
No, they're not.
Just the
No.
main focal, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, but the Norwegians are terrible for it. Actually,
Yeah.
terrible for it.
Yeah.
And whaling. But anyway, it's awesome the work that yourself and the team are doing. How many people are there within Team Mad Mullet?
So there's myself, there's Jamie, Brad Payne, Robbie Gibson, and my son Josh.
Oh, cool.
So there is 5 of us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, over the years, like we definitely all still fish together.
Yeah.
But families have come along,
Yeah, sure.
and job opportunities. So for us to get together, all of
As
us,
a group,
is
yeah.
near impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it's a pretty cool day when it does happen.
Yeah. And it's been probably 5-6 years since we've all actually been together.
At the same time. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is your sort of favourite place to go fishing? Is it Fraser or is it Goldie or is it
If it's for sharks, Fraser.
okay.
Yeah, especially the western side. Most of the time there, of course, because you've got most times it's like east, southeast, southerly winds. The western side of Fraser, because it's sort of like in a like a horseshoe, is protected from the wind. So you normally get glass calm days.
Yeah.
And the best thing about Fraser is because you can't see land,
Yeah.
you get a sunset over the water.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is
Always nice.
Yeah.
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 I'm very fortunate because I'm from New Zealand, I took that for granted.
Yep.
That I could have a sunrise and over the ocean and a sunset over the ocean on the same day. Very
What
easily.
would that be?
Yeah, very easily.
Yep.
But you can here. You go to someone like Fraser or Moulton or whatever. Go to one of the islands. But yeah, that is really nice. What's the sharks? Because you mentioned that what was it that you had at Fraser? It was a great white.
Yeah.
Yeah, or that your teammate got at Fraser. But what are the other sharks typically around there?
The main species is tiger shark,
Yeah.
bull shark, hammerhead, dusky whaler, the odd great white, sandbars. Yeah.
So there's quite a few.
Oh,
Yeah.
massive amount. You'd be surprised how many
Yeah.
species of sharks are lurking around out there.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to the favourite shark to handle,
Yeah.
it's got to be the great white. Not the great white, the tiger shark, sorry.
Tiger shark.
Tiger shark, yep. So when you're thinking of sharks to handle, think of it as humans. The smaller they are, obviously, the more they want to play up. So if you get a
Right.
small shark,
Right.
yeah, let's say my daughter comes along, I try and pin her down.
Mm.
She's gonna struggle and argue and kick up a stink. But as you mature, you get more level headed. That's just like sharks.
Right.
So
Okay.
the beauty about, and I don't suggest anyone does this, but the beauty about tiger sharks is you can swim with them once you release them.
Wow.
Yep. So I took my dad up to Fraser. It was pre-COVID. He'd never caught a big shark. I said, "Okay, you want to tick something massively off your off your bucket list? Step outside of your comfort zone."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Do you want to swim with one of these big tiger sharks we get?" And he's like,
Wow.
"Hell no."
Wow.
I'm like, "Well, if we
Come on,
get
Dad, man or mouse?
if we get a nice calm shark, and as soon as you get them into the beach, their belly hits the sand. If they
Oh, is this beach fishing, not off a
all
boat?
land based, it's all land based. It's not out of a
Oh
boat.
God! So they're really close to the shore.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So you bring them in,
I was really hoping that you'd be like, no, we're way out. We're way out.
bellies on the sand. You roll them over onto their side, and it puts them into like a trance. So you can do your blood sampling, your fin clippings, your tagging, all that sort of thing. And then when you right them, hook out, push them off. Good thing about the big tigers is when you push them off, we quite often grab a hold of the dorsal fin, and as soon as we're in deep enough water, we float, and the shark will tow us out a bit until, we don't want to get too far, obviously,
Yeah,
because we've got a long way to swim back. Release, and you just watch the shark disappear into the distance.
And it doesn't turn around and be like, my turn.
Touch wood,
Yeah.
hasn't yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can generally tell if you're aggravated and I go over and start poking you,
Yeah.
of course you're going to react.
Yeah.
It's the same as a shark. If
Sure.
they're nice, calm, and collected on the shore, they're going to be generally calm when you release them.
I wonder who it was that thought that was a good idea the first time. You know, someone had a few beers and they're like, I bet I can hold on to this dorsal fin while we and as all his boys were like, do it.
Yep.
Do it, Billy, do it.
Yep, pretty much. The first person I seen was Johan from Griffith University.
Is that all right?
He's the one that, who cons me into doing a lot of these, what I think are silly things at the time,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
turns out they're amazing
Yeah,
things.
great experience.
Yeah, like my wife's been involved in Fraser Island trips where she's caught massive sharks and
Awesome.
got in, helped do the bits and pieces that we need to. It's a great experience.
Yeah.
Feeling the raw power of such a big
Because
animal.
they're just so big, so powerful.
Yep.
What sort of weight are those tiger sharks typically?
Let's say a 10-foot shark would be, I would assume, around that 200, 250 kilos.
Yeah, solid.
Yep.
A solid piece of meat just flopping about, really, isn't it? Yeah. And so, sharks aside, you fish other fish. Are there big normal fish? I'm going to say normal fish because I'm not. Let's just assume that sharks aren't normal fish.
Yep.
So normal fish, like say, big marlin or big tuna or all those like big game fish sort of thing. Is it just as exciting for you? Because some of those are huge. They're monsters.
Look, I've done a couple marlin seasons. I've caught marlin. Unreal watching them jump out of the water and carry on.
Yeah.
Get them next to the boat, grab their bills, things like that. Yes, you got that risk involved with them jumping, spearing you, etc. But yeah, it's just that's another wow factor.
Yeah.
Your tuna, even like if you go into the Brisbane River, catch big threadfin salmon.
Oh wow.
There's plenty of species out there that depending on the season will draw my attention.
Yeah, sure. But I guess that's more, like you were saying before, more of a enjoyment fishing as opposed to a research or work fishing. Yeah. Do you sort of buy into the overfishing thing? Is that real? When I shouldn't say buy into it because that's kind of like I'm making an assumption that it's not real. I have no idea if it's real. Do you feel or do you believe that there is an overfishing issue?
Definitely.
Okay.
And look, I know this will piss off a lot of commercial fishermen. I understand them. I know there's a need for them.
Yeah.
Does the quota need to be so high? Probably not. For us lucky few that can actually go out, harvest pretty much any seafood you want, whether it be prawns, fish, crab, whatever,
Yeah.
I can do it all.
Yeah.
But for those people who can't get out there and harvest the seafood, where are they going to get them from?
Yeah.
It just doesn't miraculously appear on the shelves.
Yeah.
So it has to come from the pros.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of respect from them. I've got mates that are professional fishermen. But I think it needs to be managed just a little bit differently. Quotas maybe not so high, or but then in saying that, of course, if you bring the quotas down, prices go up. So it's that big grey area. It's a vicious circle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think is trawler the right word? No, I don't think that's right. The huge nets. Trawler, it is trawler, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know a lot about it, but they seem to be like they're a bit of an issue.
Yeah, look, but you only see the negatives of things too.
Right.
Like one of my mates who owns a tackle store, he actually goes out and catches all his own fish and whatnot, and he used to own a trawler.
Okay.
It used to be only a little beam trawler that used to work the rivers. I have been on the boat a couple of times, and when you see these big pictures of bycatch, non-target species, yes, those big ocean-going trawlers, yeah, they probably do. But when you have a Pacific boat going out targeting a Pacific thing, there's measures involved. Like they were only after prawns, so they had like turtle exclusion rings, so turtles could get out, fish, and so they're specifically.
So they do stuff to try and help. Yeah.
Look, you do get a very minor amount of bycatch.
Sure.
But not what people think.
Right.
No.
Right. Because I guess the activists behind it are only going to show the bit that they want you to see.
Yep.
Which is the case with most people who have an agenda. Whether their agenda is pro or against anything, they're going to show the side.
Yeah, and they do it all the wrong way. Like you can't, if you try and force something on someone, no one's going to listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thing with freshwater crustaceans or fish,
Yeah.
they are very bland. You usually have to put a condiment with them.
Right.
To make them a lot tastier. So, for instance, the red claw.
Yeah.
Garlic butter.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like just lobster in the US or what
pretty much.
Yeah, crazy.
Poor man's lobster.
Right. Okay. So whereabouts can you get red claw?
Somerset Dam, North Pine Dam, Maroon Dam. Most dams in southeast Queensland do stock them, not all.
Right.
They're actually introduced species, so
I see.
you cannot actually physically return a red claw once you've caught them to the water. Because it's outside of their natural environment. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're native.
So you don't do the catch and release with that type of thing?
Nope, not the red claw.
It's just catch, eat.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, right.
No matter what size it is.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow. Why don't they have a size restriction?
Because they're introduced species.
But not intentionally introduced, do you mean? Like they're a pest, basically?
They're classed as a pest in southeast Queensland.
Oh, so you can't overfish them?
No.
Oh, right. Okay, so go forth, everybody. Go get yourself some red claw this weekend.
Oh, definitely. The hardest part is, of course, learning how to target them. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Night time's the best.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember what we did. Well, I wasn't heavily involved in the catching part of it.
Yep.
I was in the eating part of it.
Yeah.
But it was good fun. Yeah. And any fishing trips coming up?
Hopefully, we do a little bit of a trip on Sunday, more of a family event. I plan to go down to the Gold Coast, actually buy some prawns and some mussels and some scallops and things like that, squid, calamari. Plan A is to go over to Moreton. Touch wood, it's supposed to be really, really good weather on Sunday.
Yep.
And as a family, we actually haven't been to Moreton Island as a family.
Oh, wow.
So that's plan A.
Wow.
If the wind decides to get back up, plan B is to go to a little island called Peel Island in Moreton Bay.
I know it. Take your mosquito repellent.
Yep, pretty much. The southern side of it, Horseshoe Bay, you know, beautiful white sand, clear
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
We do swim.
Yeah.
Yep. And then if the weather becomes very bad, we'll just go have a picnic somewhere.
Yeah. Shoot over to Strady.
But actual full-on fishing trips, no. Next weekend, I'll go away for 4 days hunting. So actual fishing trips, no, nothing really planned.
Whereabouts are you going hunting? And is it for deer?
No, this is for pigs only.
Okay. Yeah.
It's out to a property. It's called Hebel.
Mm.
You're talking 8.5 hours due west, just on the New South Wales Queensland border.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, going out with a good mate.
Yeah. Cool.
He uses dogs. I use rifles.
When you say he uses dogs, surely he must have to take the pig down with something as well, or is it just the dogs taking the pig down?
Yeah. Okay. So once again, this is a very frowned upon sport.
Yeah.
So you have to specifically train your dogs to sniff the scent of pigs,
Yeah.
chase them down,
Yeah.
lug onto the ears. You got luggers and bailers. So the luggers lug onto the ears, hold the pig there until the owner gets there, dispatches them with a knife. Or the other one is bailers, and a bailor is just like a cattle dog, something like that, where they'll actually bite the bum of the pig. And if you're a male, you know, that's the main part they aim for. And of
Right.
course, the pig will actually sit to protect the family jewels.
Right.
And so then the farmer, we come along with a gun, then shoot it.
Okay. So
yeah.
the dogs are basically
They do all the work.
but they're stopping the pig. They're not killing it. They're
No,
stopping.
they're stopping it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So okay. They just kind of arrest it, so to speak,
pretty much.
and then you guys come along and
Yep.
either shoot or
Or
throw
cut
it
it.
or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then look, it's
So its death itself is still humane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And look, it takes a lot to train a dog to do that.
Yeah.
Train it to taste just that one thing, and not like livestock or a kangaroo. So
Yeah.
it's specifically
It
trained
knows
to do
to
that.
only go for
Yep.
that. Yeah. Right. Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
So you guys are going hunting together. You said you're using a rifle, he's
Yep.
using dogs. So your rifle going off doesn't bother the dogs?
No, generally, let's say we're going to go hunting the same day.
Yeah.
The property's 60,000 acres.
Right.
So we'll decide where each other's going to go, and he may go to one part of the property, I'll go to another, and there could be literally 15 kilometres between us.
Oh, so you're not really hunting together?
No,
Right.
we do definitely hunt together. Like, if,
Yeah.
you know, we just want to go chasing pigs with the dogs, and I'll tag along with him.
Yeah.
But then, you know, if he wants to do the same with me, then he'll leave the dogs
Yeah.
back
grab
at camp,
a rifle and
grab a
join
rifle, and go for a walk with me.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. But so this, whenever it is, this weekend or whatever, you're doing sort of hunting together, but also
Yep.
also not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then and it was for 4 days. Was that right?
4 days. Yep.
So do you go off into this huge station and camp as you go, or do you sort of return to base?
No, we return to base.
Yeah.
Yep. And over the years, because of being very outdoorsy, whether it be fishing, hunting, four drive, camping, etc., you get like a built-in compass. The stars tell you a lot. Just shadows of trees and how the shadows move around trees. You know which north, south, east, west, etc. So, look, you can get lost, but most of the time, if I go on a big walk by myself, it could be 10, 12 kilometres.
Yeah.
I haven't been lost, touch wood, yet.
Yeah.
Generally, you find your way home.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yep.
I do a lot of camping, but I don't know if I would be that sort of that outdoorsy.
Yep.
I like to go to Moreton. That's my one of my favourite places to camp. I've actually not been to Fraser yet. I really
Bucket
want
list.
to go.
You got to do it, but
100%.
allow a week minimum.
I think this is the reason why I haven't, is because it's not just the time, but it's also like myself and my fiance, we take over what we need in terms of for living, but then you've got all your food and your et cetera, et cetera. And I just feel like that'd be easier if there was a group of us. So one ute takes all of this thing, and the other ute takes all of this thing, etc. So then now you're talking about getting a group of you for all of your calendars to line up,
Yeah.
and for you all to want to do it at the same
Yeah.
time, and just for whatever reason, it's like, well, maybe next year, and
Yeah.
so far next year hasn't come.
Yeah. Do you swag it or tent it or?
If it's just me, swag is
Yep.
fine, but with my partner, it's tent.
Okay, so good thing about Fraser too is there's a lot of homes you can rent
Yeah,
on Fraser. So if you want a bit of creature comfort, you can do that. But definitely allow 7 days. Like I would have spent somewhere between, it would be months and months on Fraser Island, all broken up,
yeah,
and I still haven't seen it all.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
My wife and I have been planning to go back purely on a just a family trip
relaxing
to explore.
Yeah,
But yeah, you need minimum 7 days. Like you'll stay down the southern end for a couple of days, then middle, and you work your way up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, no problem with camping. Like my partner loves camping as well, but yeah, I guess it's just I don't know. I can make excuses, or I can just accept the fact that we haven't done it.
Oh, look, you don't look. It is good going in a group.
Yeah,
You can definitely easily do it as a small family.
yeah,
Just plan it really, really well.
yeah.
You've obviously got a four-wheel drive
Yes,
ute, or is it wagon?
you.
Yep. Yeah, you got more than enough room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One thing I do want to get, which I don't have yet, is the actual battery fridge. Solar
Oh, yep.
battery and stuff fridge.
Yep.
So we still just use eskies that rely on ice. They're decent eskies, but
You're still
at that
limited.
point you're still looking at only sort of 2, maybe 3 days before you got to replenish.
Yep.
And so again at Moreton that's fine because you go for a drive down the beach and there's the little
Yeah.
boulevard
Yep.
little sort of shop type of thing. Fraser, unless you want to hang around close to the main part, which we don't want to do.
You'll be surprised
then-
how many places you can actually pull over
Mm.
and get a pie, a
At
beer.
Fraser?
Oh yeah, there's got to be 5 or 6 up the east coast alone.
Oh, no shit.
There's 3 fuel stations.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
it's a lot better equipped than you think.
Oh,
yep.
wow. Okay, so there is. Okay,
Oh yeah,
that's definitely not what I had in mind.
no,
Oh, that's. I guess that's.
and
good.
it's a lot cheaper than going to Moreton too. When you cost in the barge.
Yeah, the barge going over to Moreton's really expensive.
Yeah, and that's
Really
why
good.
I haven't done Moreton yet. Is because
Oh, right.
I don't want to pay hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
to go to and from.
Yeah.
Where I think it's 110 or 120 return from
Fraser.
Inskip to Fraser and back. Yep.
Wow. Wow. Inskip itself is great camping too.
It's beautiful there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great camping when it's not totally washed out.
Yeah.
That's the only issue. Oh, we might have to put Fraser back on the list.
Yeah.
And keep it on the list this time.
Try go early spring or sort of mid autumn, so you're
Yeah.
not boiling hot.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
The worst thing about it is probably the March flies.
Yeah.
not
God,
s-
I hate March.
Not so much Mizzies and Modgies, the March flies. They love blue, so don't wear blue.
Is that
They
right?
love blue.
There you go. There's a hot tip. If you're going to Fraser or if you're around March flies, don't wear blue.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that. I hate March flies.
Oh,
They
Yep.
they try and get my dog, and I always feel really sorry for him because I can't explain to him,
why you smacking?
yeah, what's happening.
Yep.
So he's kind of getting it from both angles. He's got
Yeah.
a March fly biting his ass, and then he's got me hitting. He's like, it's horrible.
Yep.
Feel sorry for him. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. It's the exciting life of Kurt and Tim
Yeah.
Mad Mullet.
Yep. Always living life, and
Mm.
like one of the reasons why I do my videos is not just for the teaching side of things.
Yeah.
If something happens to me tomorrow,
Mm.
my daughters and my wife's got my voice and me
Exactly.
there for the rest of their life.
That's right.
Yep.
They can watch. They can watch back on that and
Yep.
be like,
I'm always there.
that bloody idiot.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's really nice. Actually, that's
Yeah.
a nice thought and a nice thing to leave behind
Mm.
for them and for everybody else who enjoys your videos.
Yep.
Do you have any advice for people out there that are maybe keen to get into into fishing, even if it's not as extreme as the type of fishing that you do, even if it's just kind of they maybe they want to do a bit of fishing or a bit of hunting or whatever, purely to help make themselves a little bit more self-sustainable, so that they're not relying on supermarkets for absolutely everything. Like, for example, I grow a lot of vegetables.
So do I.
That's quite easy to do compared to hunting for food. However, it still requires thought and time and patience
Yep.
and all of that sort of stuff. But is there, in terms of a live food, so to speak, animals, is there advice that you'd have?
Fishing's definitely a lot easier than the hunting side of things.
Right.
Hunting is a lot harder because you have to gain access to private properties.
Yeah.
You can't just walk up and go, "Oh, can I shoot your property?"
Yeah.
It'll be 100% no every time.
Yeah.
To get someone's trust to let them get you onto their property,
Yeah.
that you're not going to shoot livestock or anything like that, which people have done in the past. It's generally if you know someone that has access to a property, that's when you usually get on.
Right.
Plus, too, you have to go by the laws of
Yeah.
owning guns and
That's
things like
right.
that. So fishing is definitely a lot easier path, and the best
Because you can get a rod from
Yeah.
BCF or whatever, and
Yep.
you can go down to your local jetty and
you
try
don't have
your
to
luck.
spend $1 million.
Yeah.
Yep. Is just keep it simple. Like, don't overthink things. Try and present your bait as natural as possible. Don't use a huge sinker that anchors it to the bottom in the one spot.
Right.
Keep it light so it literally floats around in the current and just presents that natural. Don't use really heavy line.
Sure. Sure.
Just keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And enjoy it, I'd imagine.
Yep. Back to the basics. Like, there is lots of technology out there, lots of lures and things like that, but I'll quite often go back to the basics, get a yabby pump or a cast net, collect your bait, and then go fish with it. Because generally, you'll get your better fish using the bait you catch rather than frozen stuff.
Sure, because you're getting stuff that those fish would have otherwise eaten
Yep.
if they could have gotten to it before you.
And when something's alive and wriggling in front of them instead of just being
Yeah.
dead,
Yeah.
a lot more natural.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I do enjoy fishing. I'm not good at it at all. I'm really not good at fishing. I often say that I'm good at feeding the fish because effectively I put whatever it might be, a bit of squid or shrimp or some bait fish or whatever on the hook. Throw that in. Wait a little bit. Reel it back in. It's gone. There is no fish on it. Oh well, at least I'm feeding them.
Yep.
But I enjoy the relaxation side of it. To me, it's one of those, at the very basic level of fishing, which is where I'm at. It's one of those things where it's like I'm doing something, but I'm not doing something.
Yeah. To all the people that do struggle keeping the attention there, not getting bored, look outside that box. Like, look at the area. Let's say you go down to the foreshore of Manly.
Yeah.
You sit on the rocks there at the mouth of the harbour. Yes, you got a few people walking around you and whatnot, but you got no TV, you got no radio.
Yeah.
It's just the lap of the water, the breeze in your face. Just chill out. Doesn't have to be about the fishing. It's just the serenity, being away from your home.
Yeah.
In that environment. And if you catch something, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, just being present with where you are.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. And I would imagine that there would be, particularly with deer hunting, you would have to be in tune with that because you've got to
Massively.
be so quiet.
Yep.
And you've got to be very much in that deer's environment.
Yep.
Sort of almost at the same way that they are.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise they will know you're there.
Oh, they know you're there a long time before you you see them.
Yeah.
And when it comes to that sort of thing too, in the past I've come up to these beautiful stags being the male deer, beautiful antlers, and I've raised the rifle, and it's been sitting there, chasing the hinds. It's the female chasing the hinds around, just doing what deers do, chewing on the cud, eating grass. I've actually lowered the rifle, got the camera, and gone click.
Yeah.
Just walked away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes that's the better shot to take, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the better shot sometimes. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing all of your stories and adventures, and yeah, crazy with from the sharks to the yabbies and the deers, and nice to hear that sometimes it's the camera click. It's not always the rifle click. That's
Yep.
cool. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah.
I like being self-sufficient and not
Yeah.
having to rely on other people at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. I do too, as best as I can.
Yep.
Which certainly is not where you're.
No matter where it's a small garden or harvesting your meat, you
Yeah.
know, as long as you try,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. There's I can't. He's also a YouTuber. What's his name? Mark from Self Sufficient Meat.
I
And
have heard of him.
He's great. He's great. But he's a character. He's great. I hope to chat with him one day.
Nice.
But his whole thing is just grow one thing.
Yep.
You know, like even if all you do is tomatoes or all you do is zucchini or whatever, but it's one thing that you don't have to buy anymore.
Oh, exactly.
It's one, you know. And I guess the idea is also that naturally through that you'll want it to be two things. You'll want it to be three things. But just start with one. Just grow tomatoes or just catch your own fish or, you know,
100%.
whatever it might be.
Like you said, you grow your own veggies, so do we. All our veggie patches are actually in rest at the moment, but I mainly do tomatoes and tatsoi because they're high yield.
Yeah.
And I usually have different ages of them.
Yeah.
A lot of basil things, so we make our own pestos, make our own pasta sauces. Like, yeah, we try and be as self-sufficient as possible.
Yeah.
Gets myself and my daughter and my wife, you know, bonding as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's quite a fun thing to bond over, like, and just I don't know. It's easy. You get home from work or from whatever it is that you're doing. Have a look at the garden. Oh, it needs a bit of water. Personally, at that stage, I tend to grab a beer, grab the hose, and just I'm watering it. But while I'm doing that, I'm pulling out some weeds, having a beer, and I'm just thinking about the day and just kind of zoning off a little bit. But then I'm like, oh, awesome! There's a zucchini that's ready to go.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, all right, what I'm going to cook for dinner? It's going to have the zucchini in it, or this whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I remember like, oh, there's still the pumpkin that I picked a month ago that's probably about ready to go. So maybe I'll do that. And yeah, I really enjoy that side of it. And the fact that I'm just giving a little bit less to Coles or Woolworths is nice too, because God knows they get enough.
Oh, exactly right. They screw the farmers at the end of the day.
Oh,
They
yeah,
screw
they
the backbone of
absolutely do.
this country of ours.
Absolutely. It's why, like, personally, I won't buy any Coles or Woolworths brand milk for that exact reason. They screw the dairy farmers massively on those ones. But then that's another podcast. But yeah, well, thank you
No
again
problem at all.
very much. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to chat with you. I greatly appreciate you being here.
Anytime.
And yeah, all the best with the fishing, the tagging, the hunting, the veggies, all of it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.